Hello and welcome to the Met Report. I'm Hernandez.
And I am Valeria Quiroz. Let's get into the news.
Heads up graduates, MSU Denver announced that the cap and gown pickup event was postponed until next week on Monday, May 2nd and Tuesday, May 3rd. Students can go from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to St. Cajetan's to pick up their regalia. Congratulations to all the Roadrunners graduating.
Since the 16th Street Mall opened in 1982, there have been no major renovations along the street, but this is going to change now that construction is underway to renovate the main street of Denver for generations to come. The renovations will affect the small businesses along the 16th Street, but the City of Denver is willing to use $1 million to help those businesses impacted by the construction. The RTD Free Mall ride will still be operational, but the routes will change because of the project, and the new routes will be updated on the mall ride page. It is estimated that every block will take at least 18 months to be fully completed and operational again, and all 13 blocks should be fully done before the end of 2024.
Mayor Michael Hancock visited the MSU Denver campus last Monday. In a conversation with the president of MSU, Hancock discussed several complex issues. On Monday, April 18th, three-term Denver Mayor Michael Hancock sat down in the Jordan Student Success Building with the university president Janine Davidson to speak on questions presented by faculty, staff, and students of the university. Hancock, in his final term with the office of mayor, going up for elections next year, as a result of many questions and answers revolved around the city has changed in the last decade. Among the topics on the table were the rise of violent crime, the continuing fentanyl epidemic, and the state of transportation in the Denver metro area. Speaking more generally, Hancock said that Denver should be home for innovators and that students who want to see change in the world should get involved in public service. We caught up with him after the event ended and asked him about the future.
You know, we'll see what happens. My ambition is to continue to stay in Denver and hope to be productive here in Denver somehow. And, you know, maybe step away from politics for a little bit and just enjoy life with family for a minute.
All right, Roadrunners. Are you ready to have your voice heard? The Student Advocacy Council is holding elections for 2022. Elections are available now until May 6th. Any student with a 900 number that is registered for at least one credit can vote on Roadrunner link, regardless of citizenship status. The ballot holds 3 positions: a student trustee, SECAP representative, and TSEC counselor. This election also features ranked choice voting, a first for MSU, giving students the opportunity to vote for up to 12 candidates per position. For more information about the elections, students are encouraged to visit the CMEI office.
Last Wednesday night, Met Media's own Metrosphere hosted an event celebrating their 40th anniversary. The Metrosphere is MSU Denver's arts, literary, and culture magazine, and this year marked their 40th volume. For 4 decades, students have been encouraged to submit their creative pieces for them to be showcased every April of every year. The event, then to now, brought together previous and current members of the Metrosphere that helped shape and create the magazine. Their magazines dating back to 1982 were exhibited for guests to read. Editor-in-Chief Julia Nguyen, the creative director Kathleen Juby, and other prominent figures of the magazine took to the podium to speak about their journeys with the Metrosphere. Congratulations to our Met Media partners.
Coming up next,
a new skyscraper breaks ground in Denver.
Highlights from Denver's 420 Festival.
And Elon Musk buys Twitter.
We'll be back after the break.
Dad?
Being a dad can be transformative, but also a lot of fun. Help prepare your little monster for the outside world. Encourage their interests. Support their growth. Walk them through new relationships.
He's perfect.
Whatever you say.
And prepare them to stand on their own 2 feet.
So much of the good in my life is because of you.
Never stop being a dad.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
It's definitely taken a toll on all of us.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before,
It's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID shots are safe.
Much safer than getting the virus.
We can all do our part
and get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
A brand new suspect has been named on a missing child's case that happened over 15 years ago. British toddler Madeleine McCann vanished from her bed on May 3, 2007 on a trip to Portugal while her parents were dining at a restaurant less than 100 yards away and has been missing ever since. Prosecutors in Portugal announced that they have declared an official suspect in the case. Now, they didn't name the person of interest, nor has he been charged, but the suspect's lawyer confirmed that to CNN that the man, Christian Bruckner, a German man that is currently in jail after a rape conviction, he is said to have lived in the area along with the family between 1995 and 2007, around the time Madeleine vanished. The suspect has been previously convicted of abusing children. The German prosecutor's office said in 2020 he was being investigated for a possible murder in the connection with McCann.
A man, woman, and child were all killed in a shooting at an apartment complex in northeast Denver on Tuesday night. Officers responded to the shooting just before 6 p.m. on April 26. Police confirmed all 3 victims were found dead inside the apartment after being shot multiple times. The shooter still remains on the run. Police currently do not have any suspect information, and it's unknown what the shooter's motivation was. Anyone with information about this triple homicide can contact Denver police or remain anonymous by contacting Metro Denver Crime Stoppers at 720-913-STOP.
On Tuesday, April 26th, ground was broken at 1900 Lawrence Street after a new addition to Colorado's ever-growing skyline. The 30-story building will include over 700,000 square feet of office and retail space and will cost over $400 million to construct. The architectural firm's partners and Shears Adkins Rockmore Architects have designed the building with the quote, "State-of-the-art office space, expansive ceiling heights, multi-floors, and private tenant terraces, and unparalleled views of the Front Range." The building is set to complete construction in 2024.
Strong winds fueled wildfires, driving residents out of their homes in northern New Mexico. The fires started in early April when prescribed burning was picked up by the wind. Hundreds have been evacuated. The fires have been growing since they started. As of Monday, 60,173 acres have burned after the Gulf Canyon and Hermit's Peak fire joined together. However, as the weather conditions have become more favorable, firefighters have been able to engage in operations. Fire managers are in the process of determining where to focus resources, accounting for predicted fire behavior, terrain, and values at risk. Law enforcement agencies are assessing impacts of the fire on structures and will notify property owners once confirmed.
Last week saw Denver go up in smoke as thousands of people from around the country attended the annual 420 Festival in the Civic Center Park here in Denver.
Wednesday, April 20th, was recognized in the Western world as 420, a day to celebrate the cannabis plant, also known as marijuana, pot, weed, and many other names. Our reporters went to the annual 420 Festival in Civic Center Park to see if it's true that where there's smoke, there's fire. The phrase 420 and its connection to cannabis culture are rooted in the 1970s, with a group of teenagers who established a club based around smoking marijuana at 4:20 p.m. behind their school in San Rafael, California.
One thing I think they should, at least anybody in jail that's in prison for marijuana laws across the country. It's just ridiculous that people have been put in jail longer for marijuana crimes than they have for violent crimes.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah. The war on drugs is just plain stupid. Yeah. I don't know what more it's going to mistake. And to have all these people still in jail, I mean, we had to open up prisons for profit to jail all these people for something that's just inevitable. Come on.
Since then, the number, in both time and date form, has become synonymous with getting high, meaning that April 20th is the day that the largest number of cannabis appreciators gather in Denver to share in their appreciation. This year's event included food, games, and performances from musicians such as Lil Jon, Talib Kweli, and Big Boy of the duo Outkast. Participants of the 420 Festival came from many different walks of life, but they all share a passion for this plant and its uses.
I have kids, so I always try to tell them, like, they always try to ask daddy for money. You got to get your own stuff. Do something on your own to make your own money. There's no daddy, so I just tell them to us. So love what you like.
For Met TV, I'm Noah Block.
On April 25th, the social media site Twitter announced an agreement under which the founder of Tesla, Elon Musk, will be the new owner. The $44 billion deal came shortly after the CEO of Tesla Motors disclosed that he became one of the largest shareholders of Twitter during the first week of April. The site then offered Musk a seat on the Twitter board, which he soon denied, only for the entrepreneur to give them an offer days after. Despite Musk's active presence on the app, he released a statement last Monday saying free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. The deal was unanimously approved by the Twitter board and is expected to close this year.
Residents of the Denver Berkeley neighborhood woke up Sunday morning to a surprise. Major flooding occurred Sunday morning in the Berkeley neighborhood after a 24-inch water main broke. Homes on Perry Street between West 45th and West 46th Avenue experienced more than 2 feet of rising water, with many residents reporting flooded basements, damaged cars, destroyed valuables, and a large sinkhole on one street. It is estimated that the water main broke around 7 a.m. and the water was shut off in the area around 11 a.m. Denver Water does not take responsibility for the main break, but will offer compensation for repairs to contracting companies. Many residents are still left unanswered whether or not they will receive compensation for the damages to their homes. The reason for the break is still unknown.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that that is its own unique space too.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2,
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Politics. Once again, I'm Noah Block. Let's get right into it. On Saturday, April 23rd, former Utah Senator Orrin Hatch died at the age of 88. Hatch represented the state of Utah for more than 4 decades in Congress, making him the longest-serving Republican senator in the history of the United States. Hatch was lauded by his colleagues as a staunch conservative who reached across the aisle to Democrats several times over the course of his career, on issues including stem cell research, rights for the disabled, and the expansion of child health insurance. Hatch also became a divisive figure during his tenure, vehemently defending Clarence Thomas against Anita Hill's accusations of sexual harassment during Thomas's 1991 confirmation to the Supreme Court. He also supported Trump's withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accords in 2017. In the waning years of his political career, Hatch became Senate President pro tempore, making him third in line for the presidency after Obama and Biden. Hatch retired from the Senate in 2019, his seat being replaced by Mitt Romney. He is survived by a wife and 6 children. This Wednesday, a judge ruled that Let's Go Brandon cannot be used as a nickname on the upcoming district primary ballot in Colorado. Republican Dave Williams, who is running for the 5th Congressional District, sued for the right to use the popular phrase as a nickname to appear on the June primary ballot. Let's Go Brandon started at a NASCAR race on October 2nd, 2021, used as a code to disparage President Joe Biden after a sports anchor misheard the crowd chanting on live television. Denver District Court Judge Andrew McCallum and Secretary of State Jenna Griswold ruled to refuse the use of the phrase, claiming nicknames on the ballot cannot allude to any political party or be a slogan, and added that the phrase will confuse Colorado voters. Williams plans to appeal the case to the Colorado Supreme Court. A man by the name of Wynn Bruce lit himself on fire in front of the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. last Friday, as a protest against government inaction regarding climate change. A resident of Boulder, Colorado, Bruce was an activist and practicing Buddhist, and a friend of his reported that he committed the act not out of depression, but out of a desire to get people to pay more attention to the ongoing climate crisis. This is not the first time someone has used self-immolation as a form of protest. Most famously, a Buddhist monk by the name of Thich Quang Duc made a similar gesture in 1963 as a demonstration against the Vietnam War. Friday, April 22nd was Earth Day, and it came only a few weeks after the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change released a new report which predicted a grim outlook on the near future of the Earth's climate. Wynn Bruce was 50 years old when he died on Saturday. Ex-President Donald Trump is being held in contempt after failing to fulfill his court-order subpoena. As a part of Attorney General Letitia James's civil investigation into Donald Trump's business practices, New York State Judge Arthur Engeron ordered Trump to fulfill a subpoena which it demanded Trump to turn in business-related documents. After failing to provide such documents, the Manhattan Supreme Court judge wrote on Tuesday in a 3-page order, "Mr. Trump has willfully disobeyed a lawful order of the court." This comes a day after the judge ruled Trump to be in contempt of court during a hearing. Judge Engeron then stated every day until the subpoena is fulfilled, the ex-president would have to pay a $10,000 contempt of court fine immediately. Thanks for joining me with Politics today. Stay tuned for Will Martin with Sports.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
All right, let's try this.
COVID has been a really long fight, and it's been especially tough on kids.
It's been a rough transition for all of us.
Right now, as a father, I want to give the best tools to protect my kids.
So what can we do to get back to that sense of normalcy?
Every day, parents ask me if their child 5 and above should get vaccinated.
The answer is absolutely yes.
My own sons, who are 6 and 8 years old, had their COVID vaccine.
It's an added layer of protection to keep kids from getting any type of severe illness or complications from a COVID infection.
A lot of parents are also wondering if the vaccines are safe.
Yes, it's safe and effective for children.
Definitely safer than a COVID infection.
Children get a smaller dosage than adults do.
So if you have questions or concerns about the vaccine, that's okay.
We're here to help.
We have the tools we need to protect kids and help them stay healthy, and all get through this together.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Met Report Sports. I'm Will Martin. Let's get into it. Last week, it was time to announce your 2022 MSU Denver Rowdy Awards. Players from all sports on campus came together to celebrate the efforts to MSU Denver athletics. The men's and women's athlete of the year were given to volleyball's player number 2, Aveline Lai, and men's basketball star Lalu Oki. Next up, the MSU Denver volleyball team was awarded with the Team of the Year honors after being ranked the #1 team in the nation for consecutive weeks. Next were the Fan Vote Awards. The best performance was given to Ross Smith with his 4-home run game against Colorado Mesa. The best defensive performance or play went to women's soccer defender Jordan Lewis after only allowing 12 goals all season. The newcomer of the year went to Riley Anderson from women's volleyball, and the Rowdy Award went to volleyball's Alexis Benda. Some new awards added this year's were the Clutch Gene given to Eric Cox of baseball, and the Don't Count Me Out Award given to Claire Hummel, a women's sprinter. Make sure to head on over to roadrunnerathletics.com to check out the upcoming schedules at spring sports near their respected conference tournaments. After a chaotic season of ups and downs, the Denver Nuggets were eliminated from the playoff contention at the hands of the Golden State Warriors. Our reporter, Alex Petrich, looked into the defeat and what the future holds for the team.
Were heavy underdogs in their first-round series against the Warriors, facing a mostly healthy Golden State squad without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., who never returned from their injuries. With the Nuggets falling down 3-0 in the series, it seemed unlikely that Denver's 2 other max players would come back to make a run for the title. Thankfully, the team avoided getting swept after a miraculous victory at Ball Arena on Sunday, April 24th. They lost in Game 5, 102-98. Nikola Jokic did all he could over the course of the first round, averaging 31 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals on 57% field goal shooting. Warriors forward Draymond Green had nothing but praise for the Joker, saying after Game 5,
down the stretch, they're a tough team, and they're going to go to Joker. We all know that. But in saying that, you can know it, and you still have to stop it. Absolutely incredible player. It's the reason he was the MVP last year. And that's probably the reason he's going to be MVP again this year. It was absolutely amazing to play against him. He made me better, and I'm very thankful to have that matchup to continue to improve myself as a basketball player.
Jokic is eligible to sign a 5-year, $254 million Supermax contract extension in the offseason, which he verbally committed to signing at his post-game press conference on Wednesday.
I would like it, of course, but it's not something that I'm deciding, I think. Of course, if offer is on the table, of course I'm going to accept it because I really like the organization. I really like the people who work here. I'm very good in really good relationship with everybody, from owner to let's say equipment manager. So I think I really like. I think we have something that we're building, and it actually feels really good.
While he won't be playing basketball again until October, all signs point towards Jokic being anointed as the MVP of the NBA for a second time later in the playoffs. The next time the Denver Nuggets take the court, the roster will be fully healthy, and we'll get to see Jokic, Murray, and Porter share the floor for the first time since April of 2021.
The Broncos are bringing back yet another familiar face for the 2022-23 season. Melvin Gordon is rejoining the Broncos backfield for the 2022-23 season on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal after spending the previous 2 seasons as the Broncos' #1 running back. Over those 2 seasons, Gordon rushed for 1,904 yards with 17 touchdowns on 418 attempts. He also caught 60 passes for 371 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gordon will rejoin Mike Boone and Javonte Williams in the Broncos backfield as they will look to roll with 3 running backs heading into the regular season. That's all I've got for sports today. Stay tuned for our final sign-off of the semester.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Right, and not only is this our last show of the semester, but this is also Valeria's senior show. Valeria is the executive producer for Noticiero, and she is one of the 5 returning reporters that came back after COVID. We built this program from the ground up. There's been a lot of teamwork involved, great relationships built from this. And you know, it's hard to say goodbye. Valeria is one of my best friends. We've been in this together. I was the producer for the Met Report, and she was for Noticiero. At one time, we tag teamed News Ahora when that was still going on, and I don't think I could have ever done this without her. I don't think that the team could have ever done this without her either. I'm not going to talk anymore, just because you know, this is your farewell, but I just wanted to give her a little bit of an introduction before we say goodbye.
Thank you so much, Bree. I did started about 3 years ago as a reporter, right before the pandemic started. And it's been a journey, to say the least. I just want to say that MedTV has not only given me an opportunity to grow in my career, but has also given me a second family. And I am beyond grateful for that. I've met amazing people, and I couldn't have done it without you all finished this last year. So thank you so much, everyone.
Alrighty, and on that note, looks like that's all we have for this semester.
Thank you all for your continued support. Be sure to follow us on mymedia.com, as well as on our social medias on Facebook and Twitter.
Good luck on your finals, and we'll see you in the fall.